Hey folks, BlackCross here, and welcome back to another BlackCross Collects video game. In the last one, I basically talked about stuff that I gotten during Black Friday and everything like that, but so far from what I've been talking about how me and Delmar was planning on going to Cookville to do our annual game collecting segment. And by annual, I mean we've been doing this for so long. Every January, you know, if we have any money left over from Christmas, or if anyone gave us a lot of money or gift cards, we would go down to Cookville and start purchasing a lot of stuff that we were wanting. And I think I've spent more than Delmar for once. Normally Delmar would spend more money. Normally he would, because he has a lot wider collection variety than what I do. But this time, I actually ended up getting more than what I usually get. I think I spent like a total of like $250. I don't know. It depends. A lot of people are gonna be like, that's a lot of money. Depends on the games that I got, of course. Right here, on the floor, of course, I have a not so much a mountain, but a tower of games that I've gotten, as well as a couple of other things that I've got right here. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about the stuff that we did in Cookville. For those of you that don't know, Cookville is basically like a 35-minute drive from Crossville. And me and Delmar usually go down there because they have a lot more better shops down there than what Crossville has. I mean, record, yes, we have a GameStop here finally, but it mostly features new games and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just me and Delmar, we do a lot of retro game collecting as well as various of other stuff. So it's like, you know, we try to go down to Cookville as much as we can. But this time we actually went down there with a couple of our friends, aka our neighbors, actually. It was one of their birthday, actually, so happy birthday to you. Even though this comes out like a day or two later. Sorry about that, but happy late birthday to you. We decided to go bowling because I heard that bowling alley was actually better than the one up here. And it is actually better. It is better. For starters, they open on time. And from what I've been told, they are the only running bowling arena that is open on time. As far as I know, everyone else is usually open later because it doesn't get that much business. I don't see why it wouldn't get that much business, you know. But it depends on maintenance, I suppose. It depends on how many people they've got working in staff. And I do understand that they aren't able to open every day, and they're not able to stay open for a long amount of hours. But if I could, and if I had the money to where I could, I would open up my own bowling arena. And to help supply the money itself, I would try to make a better bar scene, I suppose you could say. A better bar scene, better restaurant for people that want to come over and stuff. And I would try to get more food in there to where that way people can continue coming in and supplying the place. Record, yes, might be a little bit pricey depending, but you'll be getting good food instead of just saying decent food. Instead, you're going to be saying that's really good food to have down over there. That's one thing I would do. Another thing would have a better arcade game room. Now, that's not to say that the game room is bad, but a lot of people, especially in terms of like the younger generations, don't care much for the arcade systems. So it is better to try to encourage the ideal of like current consoles, you know. You can do advertisement deals. I mean, there are such things as people who do that, you know. If you could figure out how to get advertisement from different corporations and stuff like that for video games, you might be able to actually score a little bit more money to supply for the bowling arena. But that's just my ideal segment. That might be something that if I somehow won $1 million or won the lottery, and I would actually buy the bowling arena and I would improve what was already in there. Like, I would actually try to make it better to where it would continue to self-employ itself, you know. But that's just me. That's one person's opinion, and I'm just one guy, so go figure. I'm not the one who decides how things work. But anyway, so with that being said and everything, we went to the bowling alley. And in terms of what I did pretty good except compared to the other two. Now, for those that don't know, my neighbors slash friends, they are about 40 to 50 years old, and they bowl pro league. They used to live in Florida, in Lakeland, I believe, Lakeland, Florida. I may be wrong on that one. I may have to ask them which part of Florida they live, but I'm not going to give that much detail anyway. One of them used to join a bowling league, and he was like one of the best bowling leagues down in Florida, period. And apparently the other one is also good as well. How good? It's been about 2-3 years maybe since I've last bowled. Marr probably been like almost a year since he's last bowled. And these two retiree bowlings haven't bowled in, like, from what they've told me, like 10-20 years probably. Maybe 10. I'm going to say 5 to 10 years at most probably. All of a sudden, we go to the bowling arena. I'm bowling and everything like that. My first one is like 95. Delmore's like 105, I think, maybe 107. The other two, 126 and 155. I was like, I am very much rusty. Very much rusty. It is like, if you don't bowl consistently for training purposes and stuff like that, you will not get far. But we bowled like 3 games, and that was like the funnest time of my life. I love being able to bowl and everything like that. It does get rough on the wrist and everything like that. I do admit I may have to get me a brace for my wrist to where whenever I'm bowling and stuff, it doesn't hurt. And I think Marr will also have to get a brace as well for his wrist, because his wrist, it continues to bowl like this instead of like this, which is a better motion. Because see, when he bowls like this, it does a little ballerina twirl on the way to the pins. And on the one hand, it works, but on the other hand, towards like the second game, he was kind of like, more or less, what's the word I'm looking for? He was kind of, slowing himself down, or rather, it was doing bad. So I told him that he needed to try to throw in it a little bit differently, and so he did, and it started to do a little bit better again. But Eric and our neighbors, they kicked our asses. If we did this based on money, we would have lost probably a good $100 or $200 per pin. Because that was original ideal. We didn't really go full force at it, which I'm glad we didn't, because we would have lost a lot of money. So instead, me and Delmar just decided to pay for the game itself. And they said that they would have paid their end as well, but I was like, man, it doesn't bother me. You know, I have that much money anyway. I brought $300 with me for a reason, to where, you know, it's for gas, for food, and everything like that. Because we usually stay there for like a good 6 hours at most. I think maybe 6 or 7 we stay down in Cookville. You know, we leave at like 9, because most of the stores don't open until 10, but the bowling alley open at 9, so we were like, okay, well, we can go there anytime before 10. So we went there, we bowled for like 2 hours, and then we went and eat, and then we started to go shopping, and we didn't get done until like 3 o'clock that afternoon. So I think we stayed there for like about 4 or 5 hours maybe at most. If it wasn't for the fact that me and Delmar had to go see our folks later on that night, we probably would have stayed there a little bit longer to go at like 2 other shops that we would normally go, but this time we didn't. But anyway, though, so then we went to the game shops themselves. We went to Game Exchange first, then we went to Game Haven, then we went to the 2 game stops on the visit. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've got. So first off, let me go ahead and get this right here, because I don't remember if I showed you this. GameStop had what a corporation called Numbskull, and PlayStation officially licensed these. They are the PlayStation consoles keychains. They're console keychains. So it's like, oh, they have a PlayStation 1. If I might get them. And then all of a sudden, I went to GameStop, and I saw that they had a PS4 keychain. PS4 keychain. So like, awesome, I love that. So then I was like, I wonder if they have any PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 2, because surely to goodness you would think. And the good news is they do make a PlayStation 2 console keychain, and it's the fat one. It's not the slim one, it's the fat one. So it's like, yay, they've got the original. And then I was like, where's the PlayStation 3? It's like, okay, so let me see if I get this straight. You have the PS2, PlayStation 1, and the PS4. Where's the PlayStation 3? And trust me, the PlayStation 3 original console is widely different than the PlayStation 4 console. So it's like, why have they not made the PS3 version of the keychain? I'm hoping that they will eventually make it, but I do plan on buying me the PS2 keychain. But I have two of them. I have the PlayStation and the PS4 keychain. So that's really cool. I like that. As a PlayStation fan, I appreciate stuff like that. So now we're going to move on to the next one, being that of BB-8 pop figure. I've been needing to get BB-8 for quite some time, and now that I finally have him, and of course, he actually comes off of his stand. That's a cool little thing. I like that. I better not. I mean, the fact that he can come off of his stands mean that he can be displayed anywhere he wants to. But it's like, I better not put him with R2-D2 and C-3PO, because I didn't do an unboxing of it, because I figured, you know what, I'm not going to do an unboxing of every pop figure, but I will showcase it probably in the future. But I decided to get me the Walmart exclusive pop figure diorama, and they're the different varieties. They've got 5 different ones, but I went with the C-3PO and R2-D2 scene from the A New Hope Star Wars movie. And I thought to myself, I love the droids that much. That was the whole reason why I got into Star Wars to begin with, was because the droids were my favorite. So it's like, you know what, I need to get R2-D2 and C-3PO. So now I have BB-8. Look at him, he's so cool. Now I need to get him a little lighter to where it looks like he has a thumbs up thing. I love that scene. That is so funny. But I've got BB-8 and head bubbles. See, it head bubbles. It's cute. I do need to find me a K2SO, because I think out of all of the droids, K2SO is probably my favorite because of how funny he is. He is so funny. It's like the first introduction, what made me fall in love with him is like the main character tries to run out of the stormtrooper van. She jumps, he throat grabs her and slams her on the ground, followed by saying the phrases, "Congratulations, you're being rescued." I was like, oh my gosh, I love this thing. That one scene alone immediately made me fall in love with K2SO. It's just, oh my gosh, he is so funny. He is so awesome. I love it. I love it. But anyway, though, so that's the two things that I got from GameStop. I do have a couple of other games that I got from GameStop, but I kind of got them out of order. So I'm just going ahead and show you in order of what not in order, but in terms of like where the stack is at right now. I'm going to show you what I got. So, first off, I wish I had gotten the Greatest Hits version, but I'm glad that I've got it regardless. I have Final Fantasy VIII physically now. So now I have both 7, 8, and 9, as well as Origins, Anthology, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. So in other words, I need at least one case. I don't know which one I'm going to get. I know there's one in my recent thrift store. They have a cover of Final Fantasy XI. I don't know if I want to get that case or not. Final Fantasy XI doesn't really have that good of cases in terms of games. So it's like, you know what? Maybe I might get the one they got. I think it's like $10, so at least that way I have it so far. But aside from that, I've also got Final Fantasy Tactics. It's like, yay, I finally got it. Funny thing, too, is that at Game Haven, this one was being sold for, I think it was being sold for like $17. The thrift store down here was selling it for $30. So I practically got a deal with this one. Now, record, I did have to replace the case on both of them because they were cracked, but that's no big deal. I can do it. I know how to do it, so long as I have the ability to where I can replace it, and I may do a tutorial video on how to do it. You know, I may do that. We'll see how that goes. If a lot of people ask for it, I'll do it. If not, I won't do it. But who knows? Maybe I might do it just to cover up for videos that I may not make. You never know. But those are the two that I've got. I've also got more. Now, I do need to make cases or get cases for these things. The first one being that of Medieval 2. Now, I know technically they're doing a remake version of the original as well as a sequel of Medieval, but honestly, I wanted to go ahead and get the PS1's versions because the second one is not available on PlayStation Store for some reason. It is not available on the PlayStation Store. The first one is, but not its sequel. Secondly of all, this is probably one of the most expensive, and I'm not even sure if it's the most rarest, but for some reason I have a hard time trying to get it. Because just the disc alone is like anywhere between $30 to $50. If you want to get the case and everything, it's going to cost you like over $70. It's ridiculous. But aside from that, I also got Heart of Darkness. Both disc 1 and disc 2. It didn't come with the PS1 case. So I was like, you know what? Instead of having to like waste my time purchasing extended price for Heart of Darkness, because this one for both discs was like only $10. This one was like $12. So I was like, you know what? I'll take the price any day, and then that way I can make the case later on, you know, because I've done it before. It's not that hard. Well, it kind of is, but to a certain extent, it depends on your range of accessibility. For example, if you got a printer, that shouldn't be a problem. If you know where to get the jewel cases, that's no problem as well. So it's like, you know your resources, and if you know your resources, you can do it. So that is one of those things. So I've also got Finks and the Cursed Mummy. Got that one here finally. I played it one time. It was whenever I was renting it, and so needless to say, I need to eventually play through this and beat it. I think it's going to be pretty good. At least it carries the same formula of Jak and Daxter and stuff like that, so that's going to be good. So, Legion, the Legend of Excalibur. I looked at it and I was like, this looks interesting actually. I might go ahead and pick this up because it looks pretty good. You play the part of King Arthur and recruit Knights of the Round Table to restore glory to the kingdom of Camelot. So I thought to myself, I was like, this actually looks pretty interesting. And I think judging by the back of it, kind of has that like Diablo-esque feel. There you go. You can kind of see it. It kind of has that Diablo-esque feel. So I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and pick this up because it looks interesting. Next up, we have Mobile Suit Gundam Journey to Jabro, I believe. Now, originally I had this years ago, and I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and get this again because this looks like it would be a pretty cool game. I think it'd be cool. It'll be fun. At least it'll be fun to do on a live stream or whatever, so that'd be something to look forward to for you guys. I've got Phantom Star Universe. I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? There are a lot of different RPGs out there that I've been needing to get, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick this one up as well. Plus, it was on my list of games that I was wanting to get, so it's like I've got that one now. And the only EA sports game I will ever get. And the funny thing is, it's not even an official sport. Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup. I played this a lot whenever I was a kid. I used to rent this all the time, every single time I get the chance, because of how fun this game was. It is really good. Again, it plays sort of like a football EA game and whatever, but it's really fun, and I highly recommend it for anyone who is either a Harry Potter fan, or even for that matter, an EA fan. It's really fun. Better than most of their other games I've got. Especially after what's been going on right now with EA. And the next thing I've got is Legacy of Kain, Defiance. Yeah, Defiance. I got that. Think that'd be pretty cool. I finally got one of Squaresoft's other title, The Bouncer. Been actually wanting to pick this up for a long time as well, and I finally got it. This is going to be actually pretty cool. Been wanting to play this for a while. And years ago, I had played this. I had never beaten it, because at the one time, I didn't know how to level up as good. It was more or less of a grind thing. But according to what a friend of mine told me, he said, so long as you know about the chain thing, whatever, leveling up isn't as bad. But that's my issue, is the chain type thing. That one always breaks on me. It always breaks on me. But I got the physical version of Star Ocean Till the End of Time. This one was actually a really good game whenever I played it, up until the second disc. By the time I got on the second disc, things got harder. So I was like, ugh, okay. So, but yeah, I'm happy that I finally got Star Ocean Till the End of Time. That was actually a really good one. Another game I finally got back is one that I've been wanting to get for a long time, and that is Dragon Quest VIII. I finally got it. This is the first Dragon Quest game that I've ever played, and it was on the PlayStation 2, and I loved it, and I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest 11. Yeah, Dragon Quest 11, when it comes out for PS4. But I've been saying to myself, you know what, I want to get Dragon Quest 8 again whenever I get a chance. I saw this, and I was like, I have to get it now, so I finally got it. So I'm happy. Now, another PlayStation 1 game that I got. Now, this isn't the original case, but because of how it looks, I think I might keep this, because it actually looks pretty cool. Brave Fencer Musashi. Been wanting to play this for a while, and the funny thing is, it's not even available in American PS Store, PlayStation Network Store. It's not even available to download. It is in Japan, but not in the United States. That's unfair, Square Enix. I think you could have at least released this physically, or not physically, but digitally, to where we could play it anyway. But I decided to go ahead and pick this up because it's only like $35 in this custom case and everything. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna get it. But for the actual one, I think it's pretty high price, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty hard to get for like the actual like PS1 case and everything like that with the bonus disc and stuff like that. But we're gonna move on to these last bit right here. This one, a lot of you guys will be excited for, because I have not played the Trilogy at all. I have not played this. So I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people request me to play this. I will eventually, just not right now. But I finally have it. The Mass Effect Trilogy. I finally have it in my possession, finally. For the longest time, I've been wanting to pick this up. I hadn't, because it was either too high of a price for me, or I just didn't think I needed to get it right away. And by the time I saw this at under $30, I was like, getting it. So I finally got Mass Effect Trilogy. I finally got it. So, a lot of people have been saying this is a really good game, so I have no doubt in my mind it is, but it's one of those things where it's like, I'm cautious. But, a lot of people say it's good, so I'm going to play it. So, on PS4, I've got Kain HD for PS4. Been wanting to play this for a while, but then I've heard that it was going to be released on the HD, and I eventually decided to go ahead and get it. So now I got it. And it's brand new, too. Hadn't been opened yet. Let's go ahead and tear that little value in people's hearts. As if I hadn't already done that with BBA. Come Come on now. Daggum this thing. Don't make me get a knife, because I will. There you go, you gotta threaten it. There we go, much better. Finally have it. Finally got it open. Yay, I finally have it. Can't wait to play it. It's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna love it. Now then, this next set, I know that people are gonna be surprised that I got it to begin with, but I thought to myself, you know what, since Mega Man 11's coming out, I figure I might as well go ahead and get this. Funny thing too is that I was originally going to be getting the PS2 version with the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, but then I was like, no, let's get the PS4. Let's get the PS4. That makes sense. So I don't know. People might say that I spent a little bit more than I should, but why not? Mega Man Legacy Collection and Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. Dadgum glare. Stop glaring. There we go. I got both of them. So yeah, that was the major haul that I got in terms of collecting games. There will be more, of course, because trust me whenever I say this, I've still got a book here of games that I still want to collect. So it is not completely the end. It is still very much dwindling at a very slow rate. And I say very slow rate to a literal standard. So anyway though, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Till then, this is BlackCross signing off. Take care, guys.